Alright there you guys again, welcome to another one of my live videos. I'm just going to be updating you on some more latest news as we did earlier on, and this is currently about Alexis Sanchez now. The latest news, currently now, Arsene Wenger has currently now totally dispelled the myth in the Sanchez situation. Basically he's quoted out, he's denied a lot of stuff in what he's basically said. He's denied, what did he deny now? He denied basically saying Sanchez wanted to leave the club, and he's still very confident that Sanchez will be staying at Arsenal. But according to him now, basically the reports in France saying PSG are now culled their interest in getting Sanchez on the board. They was willing to pay the money. They'd been discussing, was it? I can't remember now. They've been discussing Friday when he'd currently gone to Paris. He's also denied him being in Paris as well when he clearly has. He was in Paris discussing with the director and his agent about a proposed move to Paris Saint-Germain, and there was talks about this. The rumoured fee was around about £45 million for Alexis Sanchez. Wait there. And also, Wenger had a conference, was it on Saturday, after their pre-season game with Chelsea. He's currently just basically said it's the media's imagination. He's basically totally being ruthless, he's standing firm, and basically he's pouring cold water on the speculation about Alexis Sanchez. He also claims that Paris Saint-Germain have got more intentions of getting Neymar on the board. So yeah, this is what basically Arsene Wenger said. It's not going to happen. The rumoured merely said it's not going to happen. Sanchez has still currently got a year on his contracts left. But apparently now, the talks with Paris Saint-Germain, he claims that the talks have gone well. They haven't gone to plan for Alexis Sanchez. And he's also attracted the interest of Manchester City. Chelsea have now come into the equation as well, try and find a way to get Sanchez on the board. I think Sanchez is adamant that he does want to leave the club. He's been there 3 years. This is the first time Arsenal haven't had Champions League in 20 years. And he's also won honours at Barcelona in the past, and he's a fantastic player, probably one of Arsenal's best players. Good at drawing forward, very tenacious, very competitive, can play in all sorts of numerous positions, can Alexis Sanchez. I don't know if we've currently made any attempt or initial approach to get Sanchez on the board, but Pep Guardiola's looking for that to reunite with Sanchez. City have showed their interest now. They've showed their interest quite a while in getting Sanchez on the board. But Wenger's standing firm, basically. He says we're in a good financial situation, basically. He's demanded £400,000 a week, Sanchez. He demanded to Paris Saint-Germain, he wanted £500,000 a week for his current contract, did Alexis Sanchez. But for the players of his calibre, he feels unsettled. He doesn't think it's good enough what he's achieved while he's been at his time at Arsenal. Because Arsenal are looking to buy into their history, They're not the same team as they were back in 2004 when they had the likes of Vieira, Dennis Bergkamp, Sol Campbell, Lundberg, all the rest. And this is what Wenger's trying to do. He's trying to get quality players, not players that are just going to express themselves in 2 or 3 years' time. He's trying to get quality players on the board. So yeah, with Sanchez, I don't know what's going to be happening here. Whether he's staying, whether he maybe go to City, whether he may even possibly go to Chelsea. I can't see Arsenal maybe willing to sell him to an arch rival, especially. But yeah, basically PSG have wanted to capture the signings of Neymar. They've wanted to get Sanchez as well on the board. And as I said, the case with Neymar, there's now people persuading him to currently stay at Barcelona. Even Ronaldo has come in the equation. The theory of this, Ronaldo has urged him to stay at Barcelona, or if he wants to move, to come and make a move to Manchester United. Currently, the father, back before, did offer him to Manchester United and someone else. But obviously, he's a good player. He's good at drawing forward. He's quick, he's strong, he's tenacious. Fantastic performances with Brazil. Won plenty of honours with Barcelona. He bonds fantastically well with Messi. But this is the thing, really. I don't even know if Neymar wants to go. Barcelona are confident he'll stay. They want him to stay. A lot of people have persuaded him to stay at the club. I'm not quite sure what his decision is yet. His Neymar's. I'm not sure what his decision is. The club president said he was very confident he was staying, but there again, he told his friends, he quoted out to his friends, he would be joining Paris Saint-Germain with Neymar. But this is what gets me. I don't really understand this, because for Paris Saint-Germain to pay this staggering €220 million bid, you know, I don't think Paris Saint-Germain really would be able to activate it. I don't think they'd be able to activate it. I really, really don't think they'd be able to activate it. And, you know, they'll be able to activate it, and, you know, they can't activate it if they're going to comply for financial fair play. And it's possible. How can they possibly afford that amount of money for Neymar? That is an absolute staggering amount of money, because basically it's not only the €220 million, it's currently the agent fees as well, and it's currently the salary, which is the wage. So that could totally add up to maybe over 400 million or something like that for one player, which is absolutely astronomical amount of money, and this will be absolutely astronomical amount of business for PSG if they do get his signature on the board. Can they afford him? Can they do this? Can they pay this money off without breaking the financial fair play rules? Can they do this? I'm not quite sure, guys. To be quite honest with you, Neymar did say he did want to leave. He's told PSG, and people are urging him to currently stay at Barcelona. PSG, I just can't. What team would pay that money? You know, Barcelona, if PSG are willing to pay this, as I said, Barcelona cannot reject this bid. It will trigger the Barcelona press, and they just can't. And plus, he signed a 5-year contract before, did Neymar, but he's a player that's very efficient. I love Manchester United. The combination between Messi and Suarez is fantastic. But he's been there for several years, but there wouldn't be a main reason why I'd want to leave for what he's done for the club. But I just think he feels unsettled at Barcelona, and it'd be beneficial if he's got his Brazilian teammates at PSG, Figo Silva, you know, Dani Alves, who they've just recently signed, who's probably one of the best generated right-backs in the world, then would be beneficial. But that amount of money, you know, and if it goes through, it's going to smash the deals of Pogba last summer. It's going to smash the deals of Ronaldo before. So there you go. Lots of money. But Wenger has stood firm. He's dispelled the current myth, and he just thinks, and Sanchez did say, that was the main part of the narrative, I want Champions League football. And it all started, did the rumour mill about Sanchez maybe going, and then it was relying on the decision for Arsenal to respond, is when he currently had that interview with Chile to say, I want Champions League football. That showed signal signs that he wanted to leave Arsenal. But we'll have to see what happens. PSG probably, the talks now may have gone here, well it may not happen now, but we'll see. Any more latest news? As I updated you earlier about that current Marco Real Madrid attacking midfielder, and he can also play as a winger. I think he's 5'11". He's won honours before. Where's he been at? I think he's been at Espanyol in the past, another team. He's a player that's good, strong, quick, good at going forward. He's also performed fantastic well for the European Championships under 21s as well. I think Manchester United have kept an eye out on him as well. Also, with even Perisic, as we keep updating you, as I said, we do need that creative winner. We need that dedicated width. Inter Milan are wanting quite a lot of money for Perisic. Negotiations have been going on. As I said, Ed Woodward's been on the US tours, you know, to try and discuss things through Mourinho and get deals finalised. But with Perisic, they want a lot of money. They're Inter Milan. The media speculated this was supposed to be completed on Monday. We'd basically agreed personal terms. I think the deal had been agreed as well, but Inter Milan, the directors especially, have resisted to any offers, and Inter Milan in general, unless we meet their price tag, which is at £48 million, something that Di Marzio announced quite a while back. But what other left winners could be available? Can you think, if we don't get Perisic, what other left winners could be available? There could be, well, we're not initially in. Bale could be available. But obviously, Jose Mourinho's regardless of us wanting Bale, Jose Mourinho says he's no desire to leave Real Madrid, so he's totally inflated that rumour. He's inflated that because he knows he's no desire to leave. Presumably, he's no reason to leave. We're at, with stuff he's won there. He only hasn't had the game. He hasn't had the game time because he has been injury prone. But his comparison to Perisic, I'd love him. He's good. He's quick. He's good at driving forward and going around defenders. Fantastic electrifying pace. Done well in his whole career as Gareth Bale. But it looks like we basically won't get him anywhere. I'd also like Thomas Lemar as a left wing, but Arsenal have been having talks with Monaco over that deal. Not quite sure what's going on with that. I haven't really looked up. Thomas Lemar as a player, that's good, strong, he's quick. He's good at driving forward. He's good in the air. Did fantastic with Monaco last season, did Thomas Lemar. Arsenal have been in discussions. I think they've had a couple of bids rejected for Thomas Lemar. Arsene Wenger, I think it's one of his main priorities. He desperately wants him. Thomas Lemar. He is a good player though, but I just can't see now. It could basically inflate, now that City have just got Mendy, it could inflate Arsenal getting Thomas Lemar. And because Monaco and Chelsea have also got Bakayoko. And Monaco won't want to sell a lot of their best players. They've already sold quite a few of their good players, They've got a highly experienced, talented team. They won't want to sell any more of their players. They're probably resisted to their players now. They probably won't allow any other players to go. Obviously, they're resisted and are reluctant to sell Kylian Mbappe, who's currently a fantastic high prospect as well, who leads the lines fantastically well for Monaco. 29 goals last season. He was absolutely fantastic, Kylian Mbappe. A lot of teams have been in for him, but Real Madrid have been the favourable team, but Monaco are not having any of this because they want to basically keep him. And they have been a team that's been hard to negotiate with this season of Monaco, charging too much money for their players. But they have gained a lot of money from selling their players. I do think they have got a couple of players in as well. Chelsea's obviously at Bakayoko, Mendy's at Manchester City. Who's the other player? Bakayoko, Mendy, and Bernardo Silva's also at Manchester City as well. So yeah, there's also Ousmane Dembele. Barcelona looking into him. I'd love Ousmane Dembele. He's a player, he's a high prospect. Just like Kylian Mbappe really. Plays fantastic for France. Good at going forward. Can feed balls into the box. Fast, quick, very skillful. Probably in the top 2 or top 3, as I said before, when Ronaldo and Messi retire. Fantastic player. They're definitely comparison to Perisic, but they're the players that we're basically not going to get. So I can't think of basically at this moment in time any other left winger that we can get by Perisic, and we're struggling to get this deal done. If we may have to pay the fee that Inter Milan want, if we desperately need that player, because we do desperately need a midfielder, we desperately need a winger as well. We'll have to pay that money if Inter Milan are refusing to sell him for under that price value that they've set out, and we've had 2 or 3 bids rejected for even Perisic now. The agents even trying to get a deal finalised for him. Even the agents even tried, and I think he's had talks with the manager as well. Even Perisic wants to leave. He's currently with the Inter Milan squad at the moment, so more things will update about Perisic. Nothing much is really updated, guys, to be quite fair. Anything else to update you? Yes, Renato Sanchez. Manchester United have also been there for Renato Sanchez. AC Milan have been there. They've been in talks with AC Milan, but they feel as though AC Milan are not meeting their expectation price for him. I think Jose Mourinho's had an eye on Renato Sanchez. I'd love him as a player who can play on wide roles. He's good, he's quick, he's good at driving forward, good at breaking up the play also. His expectation with Bayern Munich was to be participating more often, getting more games under his belt, which he really didn't do. Didn't score a goal last season, didn't get an assist. His inspiring performances in the Euro 2016 interested Bayern Munich, and that's when they got him on the board. I think it was from Benfica. But he had a fantastic glowing reputation in the Euro 2016, Renato Sanchez. But they've also confirmed he's not going to get the minutes under his belt now at Bayern Munich, so he may need to move on. Because obviously they've got James Rodriguez in there, who I was disappointed that we lost out on. They've got a couple of other players in there as well of Bayern Munich, so they basically can't afford to let him depart Bayern Munich. He probably will want to leave anywhere because he probably feels very, very unsettled. But yeah, I have been watching a lot of football recently. I watched the United game last night. I also heard that Rooney, who was a fantastic servant for Manchester United, who won every single domestic cup. In the last couple of years, I said he passed it, but it has been a privilege to have him. But he has been fantastic over the years. He has now scored. He's already scored twice for Everton. I heard about as well. He's going to be fantastic for Everton. He's going to be fantastic for Everton. You know, Ronald Koeman, I think it is. That's his target, to get Everton playing lovely counter-attacking football. Get them to a higher pedigree, you know, maybe challenge for top 5 or maybe challenge for the Champions League or try and compete for some silverware. This is what Rooney basically wants to do. And I did say we'll do well at Everton because he's obviously going to get that first team. With Manchester United, couldn't develop himself anymore. He had nothing more to offer, so that's why we sanctioned him basically. But yeah, a lot of transfer rumours update every bloody hour, every bloody half an hour. They bloody do it all the time. And it takes a while, you know, to have a look at it all and read things up. But whether it's true or not, whether it's false or not, you have still got to read it up. For me, I'm going to predict now, with the money Manchester City has spent on 5 players is quite a lot. As I did say with the Neymar case, they're willing to pay that. That is mad. You can buy 5, 7, maybe a fresh 11 for that kind of money. It's just absolutely astronomical, is that talk. And I don't know, he probably may just pork all weight on the speculation. Maybe Neymar may just say, I'm staying at Barcelona. I'm happy with Barcelona. So we're not quite sure. The rumoured mill's been going on for about at least 3 or 4 days now about this case, maybe 5 days. So yeah, anything else to update on? But yeah, I also updated you on West Ham signing Hernandez. I think he may have completed that medical today, as I did say before. What a player. I'd loved him back at Manchester United. He was a available option because we was adamant he was going to leave Leverkusen. I think Mourinho should have initially gone for him because he's a player that did fantastic at Manchester United. Won a lot of honours, you know. Scores goals, current leader of Mexico. What a player. What an absolute player. Leader of Mexico. His ratios also fantastic as well. I think it's like the 9th. I think it's the 9th something in the top 9. His current ratio. Not far from Thierry Henry. Fantastic goal scorer. Very prolific. Fergie's classed him as very agile. Good at leading the lines fantastically well. I think it was a mistake that Van Gaal did get rid of Hernandez, to be quite honest with you. But he's going to be a good signing for West Ham. He's got 6,000 supporters behind him. They've urged him to join, and now they have currently got him on the board. West Ham have done some good business so far in this transfer window, so I will praise them and put my hat off to them. They have done some pretty decent business. Everton have done pretty decent business, but as I said, if PSG pay this money and get him on the board, it's going to be absolutely astronomical. It's going to be in the books of world football in history if this basically does happen. Since I've been alive, I've never known a player being with that amount of money. I've never known a team even ever willing to part with that amount of money, and it's basically just astronomical amount of money. It's astronomical amount of money. But we need one positive. Jose Mourinho's got a lot of youth in the team. We've got a good youth system. There's players that are not as good as other players in the youth system. As I mentioned, Scott McTominay earlier. He is 6'4", and Jose Mourinho likes tall players, but he's not as good as a lot of the other youth systems, if I'm going to be honest. But he's brought quite a lot of youth as well into the team. But we need players who are like highly experienced, you know, like Perisic. He's highly experienced because he's been at Dortmund, he's been at Wolfsburg in the past, so always beneficial when you get the highly experienced players that you want. And you can understand Mourinho's frustration with the lack of investment in the transfer window at the moment, because we've only got 2 players on the board, which is a very, very disappointment, because we expected more players right now. But we've just been struggling we've been doing okay at agreeing the terms and having the talks, but it's just we're struggling to agree fees for certain players. The reason we're not meeting the Perisic price because Manchester United just don't think he's worth that kind of money. And for 48 million or whatever it is, you can buy a player that is better than Perisic. But if we have to go to that limit and we have to pay the money, we'll have to do, because there's no other left wingers I don't think we're in for. I think that's the only left winger we're initially in for. So Dembele could be available, but Barcelona could be emerged as a front runner to basically get him on the board. But yeah, as I said, I was watching the game yesterday. We was coming up against a class Real Madrid side, probably now one of the best teams in the world, winning the Champions League last season in fine style, winning the La Liga last season. They've probably overtaken Barcelona now, probably one of the best teams in the world. Obviously, they didn't have Ronaldo and Sergio Ramos in their team. I thought first half we played well, we looked organised, we looked energetic, we were good at driving forward. But the midfield concerns me. The midfield, there's not speed, there's no penetration, there's not players driving forward enough and feeding players ahead of them to get in decent attacking positions. As you saw that yesterday, I thought Fossamento had a fantastic game. I thought Andres Pereira had a fantastic game. I think he needs to get more first team football this season. I hope Mourinho does give him that game time, because he can play in a number 6, he can play in number 8, but I think he's better in more of an attacking position is Andres Pereira. I thought Jones played well in parts. I thought Bailey played fantastic as well. That fantastic aggressive defender that we've got. Thought he participated well. And I thought Real Madrid had their strongest starting 11. They just didn't have Ronaldo and Ramos, but they still had the likes of Bale on the pitch. They still had the likes of Bale, Benzema, Luka Modric, Isco, Varane, and all the other top players that Madrid had. And we absolutely bullied them, not in attacking sense, in like defensive duties. We were just defending fantastically well, absolutely fantastically well. And it's not all just about attacking, it's also being standing and being composed and organised at the back. And we defended fantastically well yesterday. But I thought second half we was a bit on the back foot, if I'm going to be quite honest. I thought Real Madrid did up the game. He rotated the squad. Zidane basically brought a new starting 11 on. It was the youngsters of Real Madrid, but we had a lot of youth on in the first half. Well, not young, but we had youngish players on in the first half, which did well. But then their youngsters absolutely bullied us in the second half of that game. But yeah, I'm not going to, as I said, I think players who have performed fantastic in these pre-season tours, I'm going to put me out. Lingard's been fantastic at that attacking third of the pitch. I think Mkhitaryan's been fantastic on that right-hand side. He's still adamant that he wants to get that number 10 role, but obviously Mourinho will be rotating the squad differently. Mkhitaryan was Europa League form was fantastic last season, Who else am I going to think of? Rashford's been fantastic as usual. As I said, he's growing and he's developing into his game fantastically well. What a fantastic player he is. He's a fantastic player. Been playing since he was 7, making his debut against Midtjylland, scoring 2. Against Arsenal, scoring 2. Also scored in his first Manchester derby, so he's just young age talent, experience, and he's improved. He's improved this season as Rashford in these pre-season games so far. I'm very impressed with him. I think a majority of the players have done really well. I think Lindelof struggled. Lindelof has struggled, if I'm going to be quite honest with you, but I'm not going to judge him yet because it is only the pre-season games. Who else has done pretty good? Herrera's done okay. Martial's done fantastic. A lot. Lukaku's done fantastic. Lukaku has already scored 2 goals. I think him and Rashford's partnership is fantastic, but obviously Mourinho's not going to do it every game. Yeah, so I think the pre-season has been overall fantastic. We underperformed in the Real Salt Lake game. We performed fantastically well in the Manchester City game. Maybe the Real Madrid game, we did good. It wasn't the best performance, but we did good. And I thought that's the worst penalty shootout I have seen for an absolute long time. Also with Anthony Martial, he's made headlines with that absolutely piece of brilliance, that individual play. The way that I got through that gap of them 3 Real Madrid defenders was absolutely fantastic. It just shows he's a fantastic player. He's young. He's still young. He still needs to improve on his game. And Mourinho's even said this. He needs to improve. But believe me, he will improve Lancey Martial. And if this is all to do with the Perisic deal, if this is all to do with us getting Verratti, I just can't see us or Mourinho sanctioning Antonio Martial. It would be very, very silly if Mourinho was to sanction Martial. Even if we did get Verratti, even if we did get Perisic as part of that deal, I still wouldn't be very happy. I'd be happy we got a good player, but I wouldn't be happy that we lost Martial because he's still only young. But as I said anyway, I still think we need maybe another striker in there. But the latest news I've heard about Zlatan Ibrahimovic, his fitness is going well. He's currently having his fitness regime. He's recovering fantastically well. We heard the news from the medical staff before. He's recovering well. I presume he probably will be signing a short-term deal with Manchester United. The player who led the lines fantastically well last season with 28 goals. But I still feel as though we may need another striker. We may go for one in January. Griezmann probably will be the favoured striker we will go for in January when Atletico Madrid's transfer ban is up. But I still think we basically need in that attacking sense. We still may need another striker, because what happens if Lukaku gets injured? You know, what we're going to do then? What if Lukaku gets injured, say in a Champions League game or, you know, an important league game? What we're going to do then? And it's like the midfield, you know, and with the midfield yesterday of Carrick and Fellaini, basically not good enough, because Carrick's still good, but he's not strong enough going on to this season. Not fast enough, so not much tempo to his play. Just a player that likes to cover space and hold his line fantastically well and string a few passes around the midfield. Fellaini, he's too slow, not good enough either going forward. He's not good enough either. Chris Smalling, presume he should go at that centre-back. I think West Brom have showed their interest in getting Chris Smalling, who's, to me now, he's just a lethargic defender. We've had a lot of positives. We've had positive that David De Gea is currently staying. Mourinho is guaranteed this 100%. I think that he's going to be staying at the club. He said he's very straight, very honest boy, is David De Gea. We know there's been rumours going on that Real Madrid want to get him on the board, but I think he's basically quoted out. David De Gea is happy. He's well focused here at Manchester United, and he feels very, very happy. And he's a player that can keep clean sheets. His overall stats are absolutely dramatic. And he is the world's best goalkeeper in the world. Have I missed out? I'm going to look some more transfer rumours in a bit anyway, to see what's currently going on. Matic, not quite sure what's going on with him. Still pretty confident he's coming to Manchester United, Nemanja Matic. But Conte is basically being ruthless. He's standing firm. I don't know what's going on. There's been negotiations going on between Conte and someone else. Obviously, Abramovich has sanctioned this off. Could be up to £50 million to get Matic on the board. But yeah, he's basically sanctioned this off. So I don't know what's going on with Conte about this deal. Chelsea basically now, this is in the Express, they try to loom the way around to try and get Alexis Sanchez. This may be a fake narrative. I don't know, because with the press, you don't always know what to believe. They try to work the way around to offer Matic basically for the 40 million that they've rated him as, basically, to try and get around trying to get the pursuit of Alexis Sanchez. In a way, that probably may not work. One, Sanchez is a lot better player than Matic. Two, Matic is not worth £40 million in my opinion. And three, Chelsea and Arsenal are currently bad rivals, so just can't see that happening. If Arsenal were to get rid of him, Sanchez, they'd rather sell him basically to PSG than sell him to Chelsea, or even sell him to Manchester City, or maybe us. But Wenger has stood firm. He's basically, he said it before, it's mistranslated, and he's rebuffed everything what's been said, what Sanchez has said, you know, what other people have been saying. He's basically rebuffed it. He's had his interview and he's basically said the media are media imagination, basically saying it's currently a fake narrative, and now he's basically claiming PSG are only willing to get Neymar they have dropped their interest in signing Alexis Sanchez, as talks have died down, according to the French newspapers as well. So yeah. Anyway, I want a deal to be finalised and confirmed this week. I do hope one is confirmed by maybe Wednesday. I want another deal confirmed, because we need to get a deal confirmed. You know, the transfer window is hotting up now. You know, Arsenal still have their interest in Thomas Lemar. Lacazette, they've got a fantastic player with Lacazette, but they still may need more depth in there. Chelsea have signed now a couple of good players now. Manchester City have signed 5. So yeah, Liverpool, I don't know what's going on with them. Whatever they basically spend, I don't think they're an elite opposition anymore. They're not the team they used to be when they had the likes of Gerrard, you know, when they had Suarez, when they had Torres. I thought Liverpool, to be honest, were a good team, men even though I hate them. And not that team when they won the Champions League back in 2005. They're not the same team. I don't think they'll be anywhere near this season, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. I don't even think they'll get top 4, if I'm going to be quietly honest. Arsenal may get top 4, but I don't think they'll win the Premier League, because I don't think they're a strong outfit. Not the team they used to be either. I think if we can, and Chelsea, I think they would maybe one of the favourites as well. But I think if we can get another player or 2 on the board, I think we'll be more consistent. We'll have more confidence. You know, then Mourinho's now building his foundation. He's got the 2. He's preparing to add more players onto that. You know, so it'll be even better. It'll be more influential, and we will be competitors this season, I hope so very, very much. Anything more to update? Let's have a think. No, nothing much really. I think that's about it for today, guys. Anyway, guys, subscribe to Chazza by Davenport. Drop your likes on the video, what you think to the video today, and take it easy. I'll see you later. Bye.